So we got another big fish.
Or a cottage or camping or whatever.
Another big fish. LeBron, if the Predators can finalize things with Marchessault, 5 years, 5.5 AAV per season.
Wow.
So
It's nice.
This is crazy.
This is exciting.
Nice.
They're definitely going into this mold of like,
No, they want to take the next step, and they have all these young prospects that are going to be coming through their system. They're like, let's try to win now, and we'll continue being a good team because our younger guys are going to be good by the time these contracts are like starting to get a little up there.
I guess the question though is like, does this make them take the next step? Like I know these are solid players. Like Stamkos really good, Marchessault really good.
all Nashville Predators should have life alert.
I think like what else could you ask? What else could you ask for to take it to the next level?
That was absolutely insane.
I'm just gonna stick these guys. I'm gonna stick these guys.
I think the
Why do we grade someone?
No, I think the issue though, and it's not the issue, but like these guys aren't in the primes of their careers anymore. So like them falling off production wise, going into a new place.
This guy thinks they're gonna fall off in some other way. Like,
yeah, that's wild.
You don't know how much they're gonna fall off production.
No, for sure, but
Stamkos scored 42 goals last year, or 40 goals. Marchessault scored 42 goals last year.
They were playing with like Eichel and Kucherov and Braden Point and all these guys. Who on Nashville right now are those guys?
They're gonna play with each other.
Well, it's fine, but I'm just saying, like, this is why I think you can be cautiously optimistic of it taking the next step, because the fall off could happen at any point, and they're only getting older.
But what else do you want from them? They have all this cap space to work
I'm not
with.
saying they're bad moves, though. I'm just saying, like, I think that's why fans probably would feel cautiously optimistic rather than like, wow, we just signed like Steven Stamkos and Jonathan Marchessault and Chandler Stevenson. Like, we're gonna be amazing next year. It's like I think there's still reason to be like, you might not be good, or you still might not get out of the first round.
I think that's so obvious though, man. Like, of course they're aging. There's a little risk with it, but it's like, dude, you have all this cap space. You're swinging on some older guys who combined for like 82 goals last year. It's like, man, like, if I'm a Nashville fan, like, if the Jets did this, I'd be like, holy crap. Like, I am fired up right now. How exciting is this for Nashville?
If we're going from excitement point, they got to be an 8.
You know what I'm not excited about? Shibanju Mangiapane. I'm not excited about that guy. And, like, I'm, like, not overly excited about PLD. And I like the Logan Thompson.
I think for...
I'm not disappointed by the POD thing, but I'm not like I'm curious.
I like them kind of taking a swing on something like that.
I'm curious. I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
But like I'm not like
they have your curiosity.
I don't feel good or bad about it.
Where are we at? Let's go rank them.
And also this team remains the worst jerseys. Like, they need to just go to their reverse retro jerseys full time.
If we're being honest, like, it might be
C.
That's in the D. Not a good curler.
Wow.
C's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. Well, I mean,
that was a lot of racket for a C. Okay. Well, why don't we move on to someone else then? Luca, who would you like to rank?
I don't know.
Well, that's not an answer. So we're gonna give you.
We're gonna go Calgary.
Also, $5.25 million for Marchessault coming off the year he had is pretty nice deal.
Yeah,
that's very fair
versus what he got.
Yes.
Like, obviously,
that's
a great deal.
Great value.
Calgary. I don't know. The vibes probably are not great.
Really?
Well, buzzing about
I thought they had a really good draft.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we're taking the draft into account.
I thought like they might have had the best draft. Like,
yeah, a lot of people love their draft.
They did really well. I love Zane Parekh, so
I didn't know he was from Nobleton. I found that out 2 years in a row. Fantilli and Parekh.
Was sitting on a plane with someone from Nobleton. Everyone from Nobleton knows each other. He was like, "Whoa, what's your friend from Nobleton?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, Luca's aunt cuts my hair."
Yeah.
So.
Whoa.
It's that kind of town.
Also, it's a magical place because one time we did a shoot there, and then when we wrapped our shoot, they just lit off fireworks for nothing. It wasn't
shoot
like
is
Canada Day. It wasn't Victoria Day.
Pistachios shoot.
We did a wonderful pistachio shoot, and it was also just amazing because we were like, oh, like how will we get enough people? We had to do like a baseball thing. Like, how will we get enough people to do like a baseball team? And Luca was just like, oh, my cousins will do it. they just play baseball sometimes. And you're like, how many cousins? You need 18 people to play a baseball game.
Guys, on a side note, Paul George has just signed with the Philadelphia 76ers. On 220.
Can we get that in NHL terms?
We are doing that later, by the way. We are doing the signings in NBA terms. I swear the Paul George thing had happened already.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
think
That was from
I woke up
earlier
to
today.
it.
Did it? I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Harden to the Rockets.
We'll go B.
Hard to the rock.
Because, yeah, I think
I'll explain later.
Harden to the Rock. I think the draft definitely helps them.
Yeah.
I think if you're a Calgary fan, to see where your team was like 3 years ago and to see where it is now is probably a disappointing feeling.
Because they took some swings.
They took some. Well, they lost so many players.
What's the B based off of? Like
The draft,
strictly
probably.
draft?
Yeah,
That's
like,
pretty. I feel
think
that feels
you're
high
excited
for a
about
vibe
it.
check. No, like
So
I feel like I'm still very like not like the Perrick is the draft this year was like the one thing I'm like optimistic about, but other than that, I'm like
it's kind of sad.
this team is like not in a good place.
Yeah, it is
Like,
interesting.
not
It
in a
seems
good-
like they're
I would
kind of
agree.
fully committing to like a rebuild.
But
And-
that's not.
But they're
always
committing
the
to a
worst space.
They're committing to a rebuild with $20 million tied up in like guys that are past their prime.
And their former
Yeah, but
star
if
player.
you're rebuilding, like having money tied up and stuff doesn't really matter.
And
Like
your,
they haven't.
your former star player with the team that you traded with just wins the cup too. Like I don't know how like great you'd feel.
I was gonna
B
say,
feels
so
a
Here's
little
an
high.
example. It's like
Yeah.
it's like Kadri and Huberdeau right now for
Yeah.
like $20 million, or Stamkos and Marchessault for like $13 million.
I will say I was sent a graphic by my friend Austin, who it was a graphic where it was like the Flames had, and it was like a crazy list
Oh, it was
of guys
nuts.
where it's like Kachuk, obviously, Adam
Gaudreau.
Fox. There's
The Adam Fox one almost
Just
doesn't.
guys they've lost.
The Adam Fox one,
Gaudreau.
does that even really kind of count though? Didn't he kind of dictate where he wanted to go?
yeah, but they drafted
Sort of
him.
Kachuk, kind of.
Yeah, true.
I'm more just
And he,
being like,
but he was there at least.
and it's still a thing to be like I don't know, just seeing the state of like some of these incredible players that they all had on the same team at one point, and seeing how
Yeah, that
well
sounds
they're
like a
doing
D.
elsewhere.
But that's like from
D?
years ago.
A C. I'm gonna say a C.
Yeah.
C max. That
I don't know.
That can't be a B. That's too high.
But like the question is like, is it vibes going into the season? Is it just vibes
Current
right
vibes.
now after the draft? I mean, you gotta be feeling good though after that draft.
Do we have any Flames fans in the chat? Because I'd love to hear also, what did you guys think about when he was like, and for the Flames fans out there, like, couldn't let Edmonton win. Like, it was kind of nice, but also, like,
It's like, buddy, you're not with our
he
team
left.
anymore. Yeah,
and
like,
he chose to leave.
stop trying to like make amends with the team that.
No,
you
I mean I don't blame him to say it's funny that he says it. And it's a good move, but like I definitely wouldn't care if I was a Flame. I'd be like, yeah, I mean you do hate the Oilers though.
It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like Paul Maurice giving his boys from Winnipeg a shout out after the win. How about that?
I'd love to know how Flames fans are feeling in the chat. Maybe this is a little too optimistic based on where they are, but I just don't think it can get really lower. And if it does get lower, like that's a good thing. Like get a top pick again.
Sorry, I just keep laughing at things in the comments every now and then. Like Hartford Whaler has been real quiet lately. Yeah, I don't know, it's very stupid. But I laughed. You know, what am
Flames
I-
fans,
got
how
him.
are, Flames fans, how are you feeling? Like, let us know. We want to hear what the vibes are.
Yeah. Yep.
Is B too high? Should it be a like? I don't think I'd go D, but I could go C.
Also, does Pat Verbeek wear the thickest glasses in the game today? Like that guy's glasses take up his entire face. It's the craziest thing ever.
So Toffoli with the Sharks is official. 4 years, $6 million AAV.
This guy went to wine
According
country.
to LeBrun, and then Sam Lafferty is heading to the Sabres, according to Chris Johnston. So
Say again?
Sam Lafferty, Buffalo Sabres.
See, again, I'm like,
a move.
Z.
Toffoli for 4 years or Marchessault for what he's getting paid. Marchessault's getting paid less.
That is crazy.
Like, that's a damn good deal for Marchessault.
If we're doing
I guess
Saber,
it's all age based, probably, right? Like because like Marchessault would be.
What is Marchessault? 2 years older than Toffoli?
Is that it?
I think so. I think Marchessault is like an 90 or an 89.
Yeah, that is a good deal.